And this would be tourmaline. This is good for grounding when we have magnetic storms. These are blue light glasses. Good when you're looking at screens. Had a special, beautiful swan hold it in her hand. It disappeared like magic, like something from Labyrinth, the movie with David Bowie. Come with me if you want to evolve your soul and get out of hell on earth. Not only is this the most hellish place on the planet, this might even be the most hellish planet in the cosmos at this time. We are to start communicating through the throat and heart chakra. Not so much this and this, this, and this, and this, and this. It's like that song says from the 1980s. Can you take me higher? I have lost 2 terahertz bracelets. That's a loss of $16, and that's 2 that could have been on the hands of someone for free. Without them thinking I was trying to own them, they could have just accepted it for free, and now it's gone. $16, $17 gone that I spent. So I'll move on then. But they're still watching. But it's okay, you can continue watching and continue waiting, but I have to move on to save myself from the evil of your community. I have to find someone that will let me speak to them about this. I have interviewed Burl Payne in the past, and Burl Payne and his understanding of the powers of the mind are overlooked. And I believe with enough humans around me, but in particular, certain bloodlines, certain women that are willing to attempt to activate the powers of their mind, that they would be a major asset to me at this In other words, the mission I I'm on is so important, I have to go out and recruit and convert demons to angels. I've seen them convert them in the mall before. North of here. Many humans right now need to be converted to the light, and they haven't seen the light yet because they've just seen bad men. And the reality is, I know I can walk up to someone and tell them that I can predict the future through my book, right? That you have been shown, that many have been offered. All you have to do is look at the chapters, the very chapters in the book itself, and come to an understanding, okay? You would have to be really under a rock or something wrong with you to not see what's going on with this, okay? Take a good look and think about what's being said and understand that you can read this for free at Substack. If you contact me directly, you get it all for free. It's not an agenda. Saving souls on this earth is not limited to Jesus Christ or the Mahdi or one way of. We are facing sudden attack from enemy forces, from outside and within. And we're not just talking about our government and foreign governments, we're talking about demons. El Diablo, Shaitan, Satan. You think I lost my mind when I moved to this city? Huh? No, I was sent here, and I can't be the only one. This is a vortex of evil. And you will either come to Christ, come to God, or you will come to bow to Satan. Many have made their choice. 9/11 on the time code. Let's begin. Intuitive dating and talking to women without saying too much about my spirituality. Let the games begin. The reality is this. You can talk a big line with people out there about this, that, and the other. You can even tell them the future. And it's going to scare some of them into thinking that you are the devil, into thinking that you're a witch, when in reality, these things are tools for followers of Christ. This understanding of the knowledge and the fact that our world is about to be smacked down by God's wrath is not psychosis and mental illness. What's mentally ill is mainstream America, mainstream China, mainstream Afghanistan, mainstream Europe. Our whole world's been taken over by the Antichrist already. We're already living in end times. Look around you. Okay, and godly people are being persecuted all across the planet in various languages, in various cultures. The evil is rising in mankind, and we have to push back. Because if we don't push back, it's going to exterminate us all. And so, let me tell you something, boys and girls. You can't necessarily go around telling everybody about your stuff if you're trying to find love. You can play the monkhood path for 7 to 10 years, but in the end, is that what God wants his servants to do? To sit in suffering in Satan's kingdom without even trying to approach a woman? You see, that's the devil of this world. That's what it's done to us. It's brainwashed godly men and aspiring godly men to join the dark side in order to get some fulfillment. And when you stop serving that evil within you, when you seek to slay your own dragon, your own Shaitan, but there are good dragons, Atreyu. Now people want to attack the power of the mind when the church is on the dark side right now locally. They want to pretend they love, they want to pretend they care, while people are pushed to deeper levels of poverty, while they don't even step up against the corporations ruling over us, doubling the electric bill, so people working fast food, people working at the grocery store, Everything goes to avoiding homelessness as they make homeless people the scab of the earth. That's a big mistake, but not their last, nor their first. This is the dark side that Shaitan, the devil, El Diablo, is leading so many on in the microchip reality of slavery. And so many people are so intimately tied to this beast system, they're allergic to anyone that wants to free them. The power of the evil one over the screens is so great that you have to do direct contact. And see, I know now when I go to the gym and I see the people at yoga, they're not doing real yoga, they're doing cell phone yoga. They're staring, mirror, on the wall. Who's the prettiest of them all? They're being manipulated by the same technology that has eradicated their homelands, that is demonizing the people at the border, that is creating racists that don't even understand that people are fleeing the cartel. This country is being brainwashed towards evil, towards self-destruction. So stop fearing the sun, kicking this grid's ass. Make your right provisions with God. Get food and water and stop fearing what they want you to fear. The only thing that's going to save this world from damnation is love and the familia consciousness, which is now being eradicated. This is the real reason they're polluting men's minds on those websites. This is the real reason I attack people that are not willing to repent of those websites. This is the real reason why I attack the bad men and women that don't want family anymore, that are fornicating before relationships and marriage. Now we have a situation where people are hooking up with random people on websites. The families don't know each other. They don't know what their intentions are, and people are being disappeared. Okay, and I was right when I said, watch out for people being disappeared several weeks ago. And then crazy people start emailing me saying, no, they're gonna, the police think you're. No. I've approached law enforcement and allowed the people in control to know who I am when I lived in a world of fear and hiding for years, because this is the time. The signal has been shot. I warned of 2025 for 20 years. That means I'm not a nobody. I warned of Alex Jones for years. That means I'm not a nobody. I warned of Donald Trump and said that he would be selected. That means I also showed forgiveness, but I don't like their hate of Latinos. And I hate the fact that some Latinos and Latinas don't even understand sometimes the struggle of their own people. Same thing with my people and white people. They've turned all of us against our own. Under this economic system, many people unconsciously fall under the demonic spell to hate people that are freeing themselves, that are trying to live in harmony with nature like the Native Americans. And that's the true spiritual roots that we have. I painted something for someone and myself also, and only us. I don't know why, but it was the Hopi symbol of the circle. And within those black dots, the red dots, and the center is the heart. And then I watched Sufi Realities last night talking about being in the heart. And the 4 angels guarding the heart. And so he's the only person that even talks about some of these concepts and spiritual symbolism that I can even understand. In fact, he's too spiritual for me sometimes. He burns my shaitan. He challenges my sins, my anger, my rage, my ego, my nafs, my waswas, right? And so many people in society, they think they're mentally ill, they're taking drugs, but the real thing that's whispering in their ears isn't a chemical imbalance. I spoke here at that table 2 weeks ago and said I would keep coming here and just create my own church and just make a video, because I know I'm the only one doing this. Because when they locked me up last month for 9 days just because I falsely thought I was suicidal, I was taken to this facility and shown hell. No Bibles, no love, no hugging. And a military veteran, I thought I was supposed to fight these people, showed me more love than the nurses. Many women in our culture unconsciously sometimes end up in mental hospitals because they don't know how to deal with what's going on with their emotions and their racing thoughts, and maybe their unhealthy attraction to certain people. Women deserve protection and shelter. It's just that we live in a world now where the hardworking men are stuck with the crappy jobs with a limited minimum wage. And then it seems that immorality is required to develop the higher wage. I've done fast food my whole life. I've done busboy my whole life. I got to a point where they rejected me for dishwashing. Now think about that. When you live in a society where you cannot have a known reputation under your given birth name for being godly, or you can find yourself not being hired. That's the real reason I'm not doing food service right now. But it's what's all I've done. Food service, but now I work in the world of books, which I hold in my hands today, written right here locally. And the fact of the matter is, I want these Latinos and Latinas to know that they're cared for, to know that I hate their media viciously, and that it is abusing all of us in ways some people may not understand because they've been hurt by the forever chemicals, in my opinion. Even the water that I think is good now that I'm drinking, I don't actually believe that it is. Folks, they put it in the water. And so, oh God. Trying to find a godly woman in a place like this is so hellish. But it is really a fight against the devil. And to have all of my dark secrets and agendas in check as I go about this mission. But you almost have to deceive with sexuality and be a bad boy and play the role and not look like a bum. I always come to this mall looking like a bum the whole time. This is the only time I decide to not look like my environment, which doesn't want me to succeed, which doesn't believe my website's worth looking. I don't want to be a product of this environment that I moved to because I feel duped by someone who I know that I sinned against God for falling into fear. Either that or I really was meant to come here. I'm really struggling to find the answer. But I'm literally living in hell. I know things are gonna get worse for the next 2 to 3 years till the solar cycle ramps down. So I have to sacrifice all my pleasures of flesh, like merely just to communicate something, right? Merely just to communicate something. Or I'm faced with an option. Walk one road, you educate someone, and you bypass marriage. Walk another road, get married, but you don't expose her to the truth. The question is, what does God want? They claim to be selling halal beef. They claim to be my people in this mall, yet they don't care about their people. You want to sell me a burger? Say my life matters now. I'd rather buy pizza from a regular place than even deal with fake-ass Muslims. Stay out of my country if you don't care about the Bill of Rights. I fought for you. I fought the evil. And I see these people in the mall, and I don't you understand my ancestors made your religion? And you have drifted from the spiritual side of Islam. You don't know about the jinn in the mall. You don't know the temptation on the websites. You think when I look at you, I'm looking at you with lust, lady? Think again. Very, very, very troubling. Am I meant to date outside my race and delve into the Latino world, my past life as an Indian, or stay with this bloodline bullshit that is allowing these monster men to control them? Because that's the problem with a lot of these Muslim women. They have put abusive men before God, including my father's family. I think every day about writing my father angry letters. that I, as God's messenger, has marked him and his whole family for eternal hellfire. Number 19, and that's what the murders of innocent non-white people and white people are going to get, because God watches everybody who harms me. And God blesses everybody who helps me. This is why certain threats stay away from me. And this is why certain religious people think I'm a nutcase. They treated me with suspicion at the church here, because they didn't know me. White, Latino, black. Here I come, the 1% to their 33%, and then the third of the third, this percent. And you come in with this mixture of all this stuff, it's like the demons in the building just start screaming. And that's one hell of a scream if you're psychic. How do you crack the shell with people that have orthodox religions that fear gifted people? How do you show them that it's not mental insanity to 20 years ago talk about a day in which the lights are going to go out and they're going to invade this country with Chinese and Russian troops? That's not normal. Now, all the time now they're talking about this war. I can't watch the news. We are so close, understand? And so why am I doing this today? Why am I going to go and give out this website to 6 people? This website for the local blog. We're going to skip them coming to my YouTube and hearing my rants. That ends now. That's asking too much. This is a private thing. You can't scare men and women away and chastise them for having sexual thoughts or immoral thoughts before you get a chance to gain their trust, because they've already been berated in some cases by their mom and their dad. To be quite frank, I'm not very happy right now with my mom and dad, and a lot of people's mom and dads, for not warning them about the dark side of the internet. And when you unfortunately shame sexuality in such a strong way, many people can end up finding out the hard way in the school of hard knocks. And I think maybe that's what happened to my mother. You see, we're going to talk about that. Men in the 1970s and 80s, I think they did a lot of raping. And I think that men in my generation are way more innocent of some of that stuff. But we have this generational curse and harm coming at us from this man-woman war that's been happening within our spirit for a long time. And so when they brought us those bad movies and polluted my father when he came from somewhere else with alcohol, I know why it was done. To destroy the marriage, to destroy my life. So everywhere I look now, it's anti-family. And I just want to be able to communicate with a book one day so they don't have to hear my angry voice with just my words. Because we're going to take my words and transcribe it. So my intensity won't shock them so much. I have 20 years of shocking people with electricity. It's not that abnormal. Humans are supernatural beings that come from the stars. We're stardust. What happens is they drug human beings. They drug the air, they drug the water, because we're at a time now where we have a supernova coming in September, is what I'm saying. This is why I'm going to quit the marijuana. This is why I'm going to quit the alcohol. This is why I quit the adult websites. This is why I try to quit adultery in the brain. This is why I quit other things we will not mention. Because this is a time to attempt to be good X-Men. Stop fearing it. But at the same time, we're surrounded by lies about this 5D ascension, new age thing. Lies on the internet about how our world's going to be transformed in a few months and everybody's going to be running around with flowers in their hair. No, I look at the news and I still see the shootings. I saw the woman in the news the other day. She was shot in the head, and to people listening locally and the people abroad, whether or not you become one of them or not has to do with God and God's hand of protection, and it's a real thing. And you may not know when you're protected and when you're not. I feel so sorry for these immigrants that come here to this country and have a false sense of security, and they end up being whacked by the brothers. And so Latinos and Muslims, they Native, they have actually a common bond, even if the cell phones and media haven't told them that. I haven't figured out what it is. I haven't figured out what it is, other than maybe a original ancestor and or Native American route. Now, when I think about the Native Americans and like what's depicted in Dances with Wolves, and we have what's depicted in that movie where you have the Sioux Indians versus the Pawnee Indians. You have one peaceful group and a warlike group that's like a predator group. And like then, like now, it's possible that those Native American wars and other feuds, maybe even cartel down Mexico, it's like angels versus demons. I don't know if there's any good cartel, but I want to learn the full history as to how Mexico ended up enslaved, like a dummy's guide to. Sum it up for me in 5 to 10 minutes. From the Spanish coming to dominate the whole thing, and then the race, the class thing. My Latina friend has the ability to educate me greatly on my blind spots on that culture. She also has blind spots on my father's culture. And I just think that it's important that people are educated and are encouraged, that are minorities in this era of suppression, to see the parallels in our life experiences. So low paying jobs is the key theme there. Being of a certain skin tone and having to work a certain amount for a limited wage. If the right wing gets their way, they want to put everybody in the same box. That doesn't mean I hate white people. I have open up my heart and seen the attack on white people without falling into an anti-white, you know what I'm saying. Making peace with a person who I called a Nazi who worshiped Hitler, finally emailing me and telling me he understands evil, is what I've been praying for the whole time. So I stop hating and being angry with white people. Because if you hold this anger in your heart towards a race and your own family, the devil will destroy you and take away your will to live and put you in the situation that I was in. So I started today at the coffee shop, okay? And I am attracted to those Christian women, but I know that I should not there. I should not even, I did my videos. I'm speaking at a moderate tone with projection because no one's here. That would harm me for speaking. But once people start showing up and hanging out, maybe gang members, maybe people looking for underage girls, they start hearing what I'm saying, and I realize, keep your mace close and be ready to run to the door. I have no weapons, but I am prepared to be assaulted for just doing what I'm doing right now with my heart. You see, the bad men in the dark side of the family, it will keep me away from their women without realizing that I'm just trying to take them back to their roots. And it's good to suspect people like me. Actually, I respect that until you get a chance to know me. But what I do ask the people that I care about, don't make me wait forever. I'm not ashamed to tell you I'm 44.4, now 44.5 years, and my clock is ticking. And this is the first day in the rest of my life. You're looking at a compost notebook, and I have the ability to fill this up in a matter of a day. Once I have full energy, confidence, and inspiration. And there's the book's gonna be 1,000 pages, basically. I'm gonna write a new holy book that's gonna complement. And basically, discrimination happening in this culture is ungodly. The murder and the defamation, discrimination towards the woman. That's where we'll start, and the breakup of the family. Now, if the Quran and the Bible and the Torah wanna catch up to me, good. Meet me at the table. Have your people call my people. But what I see is a lot of master manipulators, a lot of pastors getting caught with 12-year-old girls, a lot of pastors being caught in and why is that happening? And so we have a pattern here. I'm gonna choose to not give them the benefit of the doubt like I tried to and go, haram, shame on you. Don't do that. That's not love. Especially if that pastor has a wife. And see, this is why I have to be careful with these lectures at the Christian coffee shop. Talking about lust demons. Hell, a lot of people in the Muslim mosque and church, they don't want to talk about the jinn, the archons, and the demons. In fact, a lot of Gnostics right now, they don't want to talk about the evil of racism or Call of Duty. They think they can be a Gnostic while playing Call of Duty. And it's like, how do you think you're being spiritual when you let in that beast? YouTube.com/2025countdown. Come to the channel and watch the video. YouTube.com/@2025countdown. Watch it on your cell phone. See, it's the t-shirt. So I can put on this t-shirt, look like a bum, or look like someone who's a teacher, because I am qualified. to teach in college, high school, middle school, and elementary without supervision or with supervision. My books, Solar Studies, right? Solar Studies, right here. Let's go to the